Have you ever caught your cat staring at you across the room, completely still, like they're studying you? It seems like they're just being weird, but here's the thing. That stare might be one of the deepest compliments your cat can give you. Most cat owners think affection looks like a dog's affection, tail wags, big greetings, constant attention. But cats don't work that way. Your cat doesn't see you as a big cat, and it doesn't see itself as a small human. So what are you to them? Some cats form an intense, almost singular bond with one specific person. It doesn't happen with every cat, and it doesn't happen with every human. Feeding your cat isn't enough to earn it. So how do you know if you're the one? Stick around, because by the end of this video, I'll show you the single clearest sign of all, the one behavior that tells you your cat has fully, completely imprinted on you. Let's start counting down. 14. Kneading. Most people think kneading, the little paw-pressing, making biscuits motion, is just a cute quirk cats do randomly. But here's what's really happening. Kneading traces back to kittenhood, when a cat pressed on its mother to stimulate milk flow. It's one of the earliest bonding behaviors a cat ever learns. Researchers who study feline development point out that kneading often carries into adulthood as a self-soothing pre-sleep ritual. Cats aren't just comforting themselves, they're recreating the safest moment of their entire lives. And when your cat does it on your lap, they're placing you inside that memory. You've become the mother figure, the safe place, the spot where the world quiets down. That's not a habit. That's trust with a heartbeat. 13. Tail talk. Most people glance at a cat's tail and think it's just moving randomly or twitching because they're annoyed. But a cat's tail is actually one of the most precise communication tools in the animal kingdom. When your cat walks towards you with their tail held high, curved gently at the tip like a question mark, that's not random at all. Animal behaviorists who study feline body language describe this high, curved tail as one of the clearest "I'm happy to see you and I feel safe" signals a cat can send. It's the feline equivalent of a smile. So next time you see that tail go up, that's your cue. Your cat just told you they're in a good mood and they want you specifically to notice. Miss it and you miss an invitation. Catch it and you get a moment of real connection. 12. Scent marking. Here's what most people assume. When a cat rubs its head at you, it's just scratching an itch. But your cat has scent glands concentrated around its head and cheeks, and every rub deposits pheromones onto you deliberately. Researchers who study feline scent behavior have found that this marking isn't random contact. It's a cat building a scent-based comfort zone, quite literally surrounding itself with a smell that says safe and choosing to include you in it. Think about that for a second. Out of everything in their environment, your cat chose your leg, your hand, your face to add to their sense of safety. That's not an accident. That's your cat writing you into their sense of home. 11. Conversational cats. Most people think meowing is just meowing, one sound, one meaning, nothing deeper going on. But here's the reframe. Cats use a noticeably wider range of vocalizations with humans than they ever use with other cats. Adult cats barely meow at each other at all. That behavior is almost reserved entirely for us. A study on cat vocal communication found that domestic cats seem to shape their meows specifically to get a reaction from their particular human, almost like they're speaking a private dialect built just for you. So if your cat is chatty around you and quiet around everyone else, that's not a coincidence. That's a language your cat built, and you are the only one who was ever meant to understand it. If any of this is making you look at your cat a little differently right now, that's exactly why this channel exists. Hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more people who actually want to understand their cats on a deeper level, not just feed and forget. 10. Scent of comfort. Most people think a cat sleeping on your sweater is just picking the warmest spot in the house. But cats have an incredibly sensitive sense of smell, and when your cat curls up on something that smells like you, it's not about warmth at all. It's about presence. Behaviorists who study separation-related stress in cats often recommend leaving a worn piece of clothing behind, specifically because your scent can measurably calm a cat while you're away. So when your cat sleeps on your hoodie instead of the actual heated cat bed 3 feet away, they're choosing you, even the version of you that isn't there. That's a cat holding on to your presence with the only sense that can carry it. 9. Staring and slow blinks. Here's the myth. A cat staring at you is either predatory or just spacing out. The reframe is much sweeter. A soft, unblinking gaze, especially one followed by a slow blink, is the closest thing cats have to saying, "I love you," and they note that returning it can actually strengthen the bond in real time. Try it right now, next time your cat looks at you. Soften your eyes, slow blink. Watch what they do back. That tiny exchange, half a second long, might be the most honest conversation you have all day.
Most people assume a cat greeting you at the door is just excited about food. But here's what's actually going on biologically. Researchers have found that cats show measurable spikes in bonding-related hormones when reunited with their favorite person after time apart. That excitement isn't about the food bowl, it's about you specifically. If your cat sprints to the door, circles your legs, or starts purring the second you walk in, that's not routine. That's relief. That's joy with fur on it. Try building a small reunion ritual, a treat, 2 minutes of play, and you'll start to notice your cat anticipating it, looking forward to the moment you come home almost as much as you do. It seems like a coincidence when your cat does something you just did, sits where you sat, paws at a door the way you opened it, but cats are natural imitators. Kittens learn almost everything, hunting, grooming, even social behavior, by copying their mother move for move. Once a cat bonds closely with a person, that same copying instinct can transfer to you. There are documented cases of cats watching their humans use the toilet and later attempting it themselves, not because they're taught to, but because they were paying that much attention. So if your cat is quietly studying your every move, that's not nosiness, that's a cat trying to become a little more like the person they trust most. Most people see a cat roll onto its back and think, belly rub time. Here's the reframe, and it matters. The belly is the single most vulnerable part of a cat's entire body. In the wild, exposing it is a genuine survival risk. Behavior researchers point out that when a cat exposes its belly to a specific person, it's rarely an invitation to touch, it's a declaration of safety. They're telling you in the most physically vulnerable way possible that nothing in the room feels like a threat. So the next time your cat flops over and shows you their belly, you don't need to touch it. Just recognize it for what it is, a cat announcing in the language of trust that you are not dangerous. If you're the kind of person who wants to actually understand what your cat is telling you, not just guess, subscribing genuinely helps. It's how we keep making videos like this instead of generic cat listicles. Most people find a cat licking their hand slightly odd. Maybe they think it's just leftover food taste or grooming gone wrong. But licking is a scent-mixing behavior. When your cat licks you, they're blending their scent with yours, chemically marking you as part of their family unit. Behaviorists who study allo-grooming, grooming between animals, note that mutual grooming is one of the strongest bonding rituals in social mammals, cats included, and that it measurably lowers stress in both parties. If you want to return the gesture, a soft grooming brush works beautifully. It's not just maintenance, it's a shared ritual built entirely on trust. It's easy to assume a cat sleeping next to you is just after body heat, but cats are extremely selective where to sleep and who beside. Sleep is the most defenseless state an animal can be in, and cats know it instinctively. In multi-pet households, researchers observing sleeping arrangements have noted that cats will often choose one specific human over other animals in the home, even ones they get along with. So if your cat picks your bed, your side, your exact spot out of every option in the house, that's not convenience, that's a nightly vote of confidence in you. A soft nibble from your cat can feel confusing. Is that affection or a warning? Here's the reframe, and it matters.
Gentle, non-aggressive nibbling traces back to kitten play, when littermates would mouth each other without real force. It's a leftover form of social bonding, not aggression. If those nibbles start creeping toward actual biting, redirecting to a toy works well, but the underlying behavior itself, the soft kind, is your cat including you in a form of play reserved for family. They're not testing you, they're inviting you into the same gentle roughhousing they'd share with a sibling. Most people call this being underfoot, annoying even, something to step around. But constant companionship, a cat trailing you room to room, is a cat choosing proximity to their safest point of reference. In a multi-room house full of other options, they're picking you over and over all day long. If tripping over them becomes a real concern, a simple verbal cue before you move can help. But don't miss what the behavior itself means. That's not clinginess. That's a cat who has decided the safest place in the house is wherever you are. And now, the one I promised you at the very beginning. Most people think a cat tolerating something, nail trims, being picked up like a baby, having their nose touched, is just about the cat being unusually chill. But the truth is, cats are deeply instinctively selective about physical trust. Letting their guard down completely in their single most vulnerable moments isn't tolerance, it's a choice. A study on feline touch recognition found that cats can distinguish their owner's touch from a stranger's, even without seeing or smelling the hand doing it. Something about the way you specifically touch them registers as safe, as yours. So if your cat lets you do things they'd never allow anyone else to do, carry you, trim their claws, hold them close when they're scared, you're not just their owner, you're the one cat logic exception in an entire world of instinct built around caution. Cats don't imprint on everyone. They don't even imprint on every home they live in. But if you made it this far, nodding along, recognizing sign after sign in your own cat, you already know the truth, even if you never have the words for it. Somewhere in your house right now, there's a small, quiet animal who has decided out of everyone in the world that you're the one worth trusting completely. That's not something you earned by accident. That's something you earned by being exactly who you are.